ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Okay, teachings of Queen Kunti, chapter 10. We're continuing. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no direct connection with material activities. All his acts and deeds, which are exhibited even in this material world, are spiritual and without affection for the modes of material nature. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord says that all his acts, even his appearance and disappearance, in and out of the material world, are transcendental, and one who knows this perfectly shall not take his birth again in this material world, but will go back to Godhead. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvataha. One who knows this perfectly. And so we should have firm faith that Krishna's appearance, disappearance are all transcendental, his activities are transcendental, everything is transcendental. So one who knows this perfectly, knowing perfectly meaning one is knowledge, the other is application. So once we know that perfectly that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, then next thing is that I am his servant, and so I will live like a servant of Krishna. So this is knowing perfectly. In Vedic way of life, there is no separation between gnana and vijnana, meaning knowing and applying. There is no difference. Meaning, if you know, you have to apply. Like if you know that you when signal is red, you have to stop. You know it, but then you also have to put it into practice. So Vedic culture means knowing and also putting it into practice. Not just I know, but I don't. I'm not going to apply it. So knowing that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, knowing that everything about him is transcendental, must result in surrender. Because one who knows it perfectly will surrender to Krishna. The material disease is due to hankering after and lording it over material nature. See, we have to always remember this. Our suffering in this material world is just because of this hankering after and lording it over material nature. Whatever, I mean, today we are suffering because we've done things in the past, right, which was hankering, lording over material nature. And so that is why we are suffering today. This is the material disease. Now, we shouldn't try to cure the material disease just symptomatically, meaning, oh, I got some problem. Okay, let me try to find a solution. But what is the root cause? The root cause is this hankering business. This hankering is due to an interaction of the three modes of nature, and neither the Lord nor the devotees have attachment for such false enjoyment. See, Prabhupada is saying neither the Lord nor the devotees. Now, who are these devotees? So, whom do we call devotees? Whom is Srila Prabhupada calling as devotees? Those who have no attachment for this false enjoyment. They are devotees because they understand the real position. So we should understand always devotees means pure devotees only, right? Like we should come to this category. Therefore, the Lord and the devotees are called Nivritta Gunavritti. See, Prabhupada is including devotees in the same category as the Lord, because really devotees means one who have, those who have transcended this material platform, right? So they are called Nivritta Gunavritti. The perfect Nivritta Gunavritti is the Supreme Lord because he never becomes attracted by the modes of material nature. Whereas the living beings have such a tendency. Some of them are entrapped by the illusory attraction of material nature. So living beings have this tendency. Some of them are entrapped, some of them are free. Some of them have freed themselves from this illusory attraction. And it is illusory. This attraction to material nature is illusory because it is temporary. It is there today, it's not going to be there tomorrow. So we should remember this. Okay, whatever I'm getting attracted to in this material world is all illusory. It's just I'm cheating myself, and in trying to wanting to get that whatever that object is, I might end up doing things which might be detrimental or which might be painful, which might just result in future suffering for me. So this is the material disease. So we have to cure ourselves. The curing process is the process of bhakti. But we should not willingly indulge. See, this is the key. See, when we have a disease and doctor has prescribed certain things, we should try to follow it. If we willingly try to break the rules and then how are we going to get cured? So this is the key thing actually. Many people think that it is not possible to come out of this material disease. No, it is possible. Provided we don't try to aggravate the disease. We don't try to indulge ourselves in these things. All right, we try to keep away. Initial stages we have to try and keep away. Like I was giving that example before coming to Krishna consciousness, I was too attracted to Hindi songs, old Hindi songs, etc. And after coming into Krishna consciousness, whenever I used to hear it, I used to start singing along. Right then, I realized saying that this is not going to help me, because the more I sing, the more I get involved, the more I remain in that entangled position. So I decided, okay, I will have to keep myself away from these Hindi songs. So if after that, what I started doing was, in case I heard anywhere anything, radio, this, that, and all, I just stop it or go away from it or close my ears or whatever, right? Just avoiding it. And that sincere attempt that we make to avoid this, Krishna will give mercy. In that, okay, he's trying sincerely. Let me give some mercy. But we have to get out of this material disease. We have to try. See, and all of us have our own limitations. It's not like we cannot say that, oh, okay, by my own ability I will overcome. No, by little sincere effort and lot of mercy from the Lord, we can overcome. Why lot of mercy? Because if we had had that power ourselves, we would have already come out of it. We would not be in this conditioned state. So we require a lot of mercy. So Krishna will give mercy. He is ready to give mercy. But he has to see some little sincere effort from our side to overcome. If we want to aggravate the disease, then he is not going to bother. He let us aggravate it. Because the Lord is the property of the devotees. Lord is the property of the devotees, which we discussed yesterday. And the devotees are the property of the Lord reciprocally. The devotees are certainly transcendental to the modes of material nature. See, this has to be our position. We have to reach this stage of becoming the property of the Lord and thereby transcending the modes of material nature. That is a natural conclusion. Such unalloyed. So this is all these, wherever Prabhupada is using the word devotees here, means unalloyed, pure devotees, are distinct from the mixed devotees who approach the Lord for mitigation of miseries and poverty or because of inquisitiveness and speculation. Artho, Artharthi, Jignasu, Gnani. Jana Sukruti no Arjuna, they have some Sukruti, they come to Krishna, but they are mixed devotees. Prabhupada in that purport writes saying that, but even these mixed devotees, if they associate with pure devotees, they'll become pure. They will overcome all those, whatever their material desires or wants are. The unalloyed devotees and the Lord are transcendently attached to one another. For others, the Lord has nothing. For others, the Lord has nothing to reciprocate, and therefore he is called Atma Rama, self-satisfied. See, this is very important to understand. People think that generally Lord is Atma Rama. No, Lord is Atma Rama, self-satisfied with those who are not unalloyed devotees. He has nothing to reciprocate, meaning he is satisfied with himself. But when it comes to unalloyed devotees, he is Para Rama. So there are two words, Atma Rama, Para Rama. Atma Rama basically means that Rama is happiness. Happiness from Atma, self. That is generally called self-satisfied. Para Rama means satisfaction or happiness coming from others. That comes only from his pure devotees. So with his pure devotees, Lord is Para Rama, which means that he comes under their control. But with others, non-devotees, so definitely Lord has nothing to reciprocate. Mixed devotees, he will reciprocate to the extent of their sincerity. Ye yata mam prapadyante. Right? But for non-devotees, people who are not devotees of the Lord, he is Atma Rama. He is self-satisfied. He is not affected by their misery. He is not affected by their happiness. Nothing. He is just satisfied by within himself. Self-satisfied as he is the master of all monists who seek to merge into the existence of the Lord. Because these monists have this thing of, you know, self-satisfaction, meaning nothing, no connection with this material world, etc. So Prabhupada is saying, yeah, that self-satisfied Paramatma, he is the goal of these monists. But the Lord, Supreme Lord himself, in Goloka Vrindavana or in connection with his devotees, he is not Atmarama. He is not self-satisfied. He is hankering after devotee association of the service of the devotees. So who is this? Who is Atmarama? Who is Paramatma? And these Gnanis who are monis, they want to merge into his existence. Such monis merge within the personal effulgence of the Lord called the Brahma Jyotir. But the devotees enter the transcendental pastimes of the Lord, which are never to be misunderstood as material. Especially the Lord's pastimes in Vrindavan are very easy to be misunderstood because it almost looks like material activities. So that is why knowing him tattvataha means not misunderstanding any of his actions, not misunderstanding any of his leela, not misunderstanding his relationship with Srimati Radharani, not misunderstanding his relationship with gopis. That is important. So actually, many people, even other sampradayas, they can't come to this Madhurya Rasa. They can't. I mean, like Dwaraka, they can understand conjugal, like married, Swakiya Rasa, but they can't understand Vrindavan. So they don't talk about it. They don't discuss about it. So we are so fortunate that in our sampradaya, we actually completely understand Krishna, or at least we have all the facilities, guidance, knowledge, mercy to understand Krishna completely, perfectly. To be materially impoverished is the first qualification for devotee. See, again, Prabhupada is highlighting this. One who does not possess anything in the material world but simply possesses Krishna is called Akinchana. Like I said yesterday, it doesn't mean that we don't possess anything at all. We don't have attachment to anything that we possess. We want to simply possess Krishna. Our only possession is Krishna. Other things we just think, yeah, it's there. Krishna has given it. Okay, I'll use it in his service. Not attached to it. But we have to possess Krishna. Possess Krishna. Such a big statement. The word akinchana means one who has lost all material possessions. As long as we have even the slightest tinge of an idea of becoming happy materially in some way or other, we shall have to accept a material body. See, simple thing. Simple. As long as we have even the slightest tinge of an tinge of an idea, not even attempt. Even if you have a slightest tinge of an idea of becoming happy materially, we shall have to accept another body. Nature is so kind that according to the way we want to enjoy this material world, she will give us a suitable body under the direction of the Lord. Because the Lord is situated in everyone's heart, he knows everything. Therefore, knowing that we still want something material, he will give us another material body. Yes, take it. Krishna wants us to have full experience through which to understand that by material gain we shall never be happy. See, this is very, very important. This is Krishna's desire. See, Krishna wants us to have full experience. Meaning, if you are sincere, right, we want Krishna also, but we still have some material attractions. What Krishna will do? He will create situations which will where we in through which we are maybe trying to we are attempting to get something materially, but we will not get it. And we'll repeatedly try, we'll repeatedly not get it. Then we will get full experience that by material gain we shall never be happy, or we will get it, but we will not be happy. Either way, Krishna wants us to show by experience. He wants us to experience the fact that material things are not going to make us happy. So we might hanker for something. Sometimes Krishna might give it also, but we're not going to derive the happiness that we wanted. Then we realize, oh, I wanted this, I got it, but I'm not happy with this. So it's of no use. So he will give us the full experience. See, this is the reason why our prarabdha is not destroyed at the time of initiation. Because all these whatever our anarthas are there have to be removed. And how will we get rid of our anarthas? We are not so intelligent that just by hearing we will overcome our material desires. And we have to suffer. We have to experience. So then we will realize. Then we'll say, okay, okay, I don't want all this Krishna. Okay, I want only you. That is akinchana. So as long as we still have some desires materially, then we'll have to come back. We'll have to take birth again. There's no other option. Because we have to come to that full state of complete acceptance, saying that, yeah, absolutely, there's nothing worth in this material world except Krishna. Because we are part and parcel of Krishna who has full freedom, we too have full freedom, although the quantity of that freedom is quite minute. Although the quantity of salt in a drop of seawater is not comparable to the quantity of salt in the ocean, the chemical composition of both the drop and the ocean is the same. Similarly, whatever we have in a minute quantity is present in its fullness in Krishna. Janmadhyasya taha. For example, we have propensity to steal, to take things that belong to others. Why? Because Krishna has the same propensity. Unless the propensity to steal is present in the absolute truth, how can it be present in us? Krishna is known as the butter thief. But Krishna's stealing and our stealing are different. Because we are materially contaminated, our stealing is abominable. Whereas on the spiritual absolute platform, the same stealing is so nice that it is enjoyable. Mother Yashoda therefore enjoys Krishna's activities of stealing. This is the difference between material and spiritual. So next month we want to start enjoying Krishna's this thief Makan Chor Leela with Damodar Ujjavrata. So it is enjoyable, and we see that year after year we are singing the same Damodar Astakam, we are telling the same Leela, but there is so much of bliss that we experience because it is transcendental, it is spiritual. Any activities that are spiritual are all good, and any activities that are material are all bad. This is the difference between spiritual and material. The so-called morality and goodness of this material world is all bad. But in the spiritual world, even so-called immorality is good. What is the so-called immorality? Prabhupada is explaining it. This we must understand. For example, to dance with the wives of others at the dead of night is immoral, at least according to the Vedic civilization. Even today in India, a young woman will never be allowed to go to a young man at the dead of night to dance with him. But we shall find in Srimad Bhagavatam that as soon as all the gopis, the young cowherd girls of Vrindavan, heard Krishna's flute, culprit is the flute. Krishna's flute is the culprit. They immediately came to dance with him. Now, according to material conceptions, this is immoral. But from the spiritual point of view, this is in accord with the greatest morality. This is a big topic to understand. I spoke about this briefly on Radhastami, my Radhastami class. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore said, Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajavadu Vargena Ya Kalpita. Oh, there is no better mode of worship than that which was conceived by the Vrajavadhus, the damsels of Vrindavan. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that this is the topmost. He was a sannyasi, so he will not be attached to anything immoral. Prabhupada is explaining here. After Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted the renounced order of life, he very strictly avoided association with women. Even in his family life, he never played any jokes with women. He was very humorous, but only with men, not with women. Once he spoke some joking words with his wife, Vishnu Priya. When Sachimata, Lord Chaitanya's mother, was searching for something, he jokingly said, maybe your daughter-in-law has taken it. But in his whole life, these are the only joking words we find in relation to women. He was very strict. After he accepted sannyasa, the renounced order, no woman could even come near him to offer obeisances. Rather, they would offer obeisances from a distant place. Nonetheless, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Ramya Kadidupasana Vrajavadu Vargena Ya Kalpita. There's no conception of worship better than that which was conceived by the damsels of Vrindavana. What was their conception? They wanted to love Krishna at any risk. And this is never immoral. And so Prabhupada is explaining how this whole gopi prema right, is not immoral. Is not immoral. Mm. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that it is the topmost platform of worship. Of course, for that, the tattva we have to understand who are these gopis, who are Radharani, what is their relationship with Krishna. Mm. So, and interestingly, um, one of the things that Krishna possesses, which Vishnu doesn't possess, is his Venu Madhuri, his flute. So the flute, the glories of the flute are just, inconceivable. They're just so beautiful. Um, uh, Krishna, just by his flute, he can attract. It's like it's like a phone call, right? Literally, we can say that it will only reach out to those people whom it is meant for. Nobody else will understand. Nobody else will get attracted. So it's inconceivable. This Venu Gita, the glorification of the flute of Krishna. It's amazing. Anyway, we'll come to that whenever Krishna willing. That which is in relationship to Krishna can never be immoral. To give another example, Lord Krishna in his incarnation, the Narasimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, the father of Prahlad Maharaj, while Prahlad Maharaj stood nearby without protesting. Now, is this moral? Who would like to see his own father being killed? Who would just stand there and not protest? No one would approve of such behavior and say that it is moral. Nonetheless, this actually happened. Not only that, but Prahlad Maharaja even made a garland to place upon the neck of the killer. My dear Lord Killer. My dear Lord Killer, he said, please take this garland. You killed my father and you are very good. This must be understood spiritually. If one's father is being attacked and one cannot protect him, one must protest and cry for help. But because Prahlad Maharaja's father was killed by Krishna in the form of Lord Narasimhadev, Prahlad Maharaj prepared a garland for the killer. After his father was killed, Prahlada said to Narasimhadev, my dear Lord, now that my father has been killed, everyone is happy. Now please withdraw your angry mood. Of course, Prahlada even goes one more step further and says, please forgive my father also. Hmm. A sadhu, a saintly person, never approves of killing, not even the killing of an animal. But Prahlad Maharaj said, Modeta sadhurapi brushchika sarpa hatya. Even a saintly person is pleased when a scorpion or snake is killed. A scorpion or snake is also a living entity, and a sadhu is never satisfied when he sees another living entity killed. But Prahlada Maharaj said, even a sadhu is pleased when a snake or scorpion is killed. My father was just like a snake or a scorpion, and therefore, now that he has been killed, everyone is happy. Hiranyakashipu was a very dangerous demon who gave trouble to devotees. And when such demon is killed, even saintly persons are satisfied, although ordinarily they never want anyone killed. Therefore, although it may appear that Lord Krishna or Prahlad Maharaj acted immorally, in fact, they acted in accord with the highest morality. So this morality of this material world, also there are different levels. And the ultimate is morality on the platform of spirituality, meaning we have to understand all these things from a spiritual perspective, and only then we will actually understand real morality. If we remain on the material platform, then based on our elevation on the material platform, we will understand morality accordingly. Right? Like, for example, telling a lie is not good, but telling a lie for Krishna is good. So, like this is the highest, topmost morality. Krishna is Akinchana Vitta, the only solace for one who has lost everything material. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Krishna says, if someone wants me, but at the same time wants material prosperity, he is a fool. Please note. Krishna is so kind that if one wants material prosperity but at the same time wants to become a devotee, Krishna makes him a failure in material life. Therefore, people are very much afraid of coming to Krishna consciousness. Oh, they think my material prosperity will be finished. See, but we also have to understand this. If we are not attached to the material prosperity, like Krishna took away everything from Bali Maharaj but gave a lot more than what he had. He gave him Sutala, which was more opulent than even higher Swarga planets. So it's not that Krishna takes away. Krishna takes away from those who are materially attached. But Krishna gives also to people who are not devotees, who are not materially attached. Because he knows that these people will anyway use it. This devotee will anyway use it for my service. So it's okay. There is no risk. Hmm. But the difficulty is because most people are attached to this wealth and material things, mostly what is seen is in the life of a sincere devotee that it is being taken away. But that's not the only thing that Krishna does. Krishna can also give. He can also give. He can give a lot, like he gave to Sudama. Generally, people go to a church or temple to pray to God for material prosperity. Oh God, give us our daily bread. But although they're approaching God for material prosperity, give me this, give me that. Prabhupada style, give me this, give me that. They're also considered pious because they approach God, unlike the atheists who never approach Him. Atheists, they'll think, why shall I approach God? The atheist says, I shall create my own wealth, and by advancement of science, I shall be happy. So, science, meaning scientists, they're atheists. One who thinks for my own prosperity, I shall depend on my own strength and my own knowledge is a dushkruti. Please note, a most sinful person. But one who thinks my prosperity depends on the mercy of God is pious. Simple rule. The other day we were discussing, saying that why don't we surrender to Krishna? We were thinking, yeah, because we have faith in our own strength and knowledge. Prabhupada is saying that such a person is a dushkruti, a most sinful person. We have to always feel helpless and depend on the mercy of God, of Krishna. And that is pious. Of course, at a even higher level platform, devotees don't even ask, don't even like want to make Krishna, engage in these things. So they'll just not even pray. Like Raghunath Das Goswami, he was sitting. He didn't have bhajan kutir when he came to Vrindavan, and he was doing bhajana outside. And then once there was a tiger which came. Another time there was so much of heat. So Radharani herself came and placed her veil, her dupatta over his head so that he doesn't get affected by the sun. Then Sanatan Goswami sees and says, tells Raghunath Das Goswami, "Arey Baba, kya kar rahe ho? Aap, Radha Krishna are engaged in your service. Please get a bhajan kutir built and do your bhajana inside." So this is a very exalted state. This we cannot imitate. It it really very handful of devotees who can come to that stage, and we should desire to come there, get there, but at least we should not be dushkruti. First of all, first stage is we should not be dushkruti. We should not think it's my own strength, my own knowledge, my own wealth, my own contacts. No, whatever it is, my own strength, wealth, knowledge, contacts, whatever it is, but it all depends on mercy of Krishna. If Krishna wants, Mare Krishna Rake Krishna Mare. If Krishna doesn't want, then what can anybody do? The best of material assets cannot help. It is a fact that without the sanction of God, nothing can be achieved. Tavat tanur idam tanupekshitanam. We have discovered many methods by which to counteract distress, but when freedom from such distress is not sanctioned by God, these methods will fail. For example, a sick man may have a very good medicine and a qualified physician, but if he asks the physician, can you guarantee the life of the patient? Doctor will always say, no, I cannot do so. I try my best, that's all. An intelligent doctor knows the ultimate sanction is in the hand of God. I am simply an instrument. If God does not want the patient to live, then all my medicines and all my scientific medical knowledge will fail. Intelligent doctor. So I go to one homeopathy doctor and he has put in the waiting area, saying, I prescribe, medicine works, karma acts, Krishna sanctions. So he's like explicitly put saying that, Krishna, if Krishna doesn't sanction, nothing is going to work. So Prabhupada is saying an intelligent doctor knows this. The ultimate sanction, therefore, is Krishna. Those who are foolish do not know this, and therefore they're called moodha, rascals. Rascals means in Prabhupada's terminology, moodha. They do not know that although whatever they're doing may be very good, if it is not ultimately sanctioned by God, by Krishna, it will all be a failure. So whenever we are trying something, materially, and we are seeing failure, We should just understand Krishna doesn't want it. Krishna has not sanctioned it yet. Why Krishna has not sanctioned? Because there is something that we have to learn from that, which is now become an obstacle in our bhakti, and Krishna wants to remove it. So till that obstacle gets removed, which is basically our attachment to something material, Krishna will not sanction. And that is why we should not get frustrated. We should be looking at what is it that Krishna wants me to learn, and pray for his mercy only, saying, Krishna, you only have to give me strength to overcome this. Recognize, pray for mercy, and then with his mercy, by his grace, we overcome it. Then Krishna will sanction solution for our problem. On the other hand, a devotee knows, with whatever intelligence I have, I may try to become happy, but without Krishna's sanction, I shall never be happy. This is the distinction between a devotee and not devotee. Okay, still a lot. Okay, we'll stop it. Right, so we show such beautiful statements. Really, I mean, each of these statements we can talk for hours. So perfectly crafted sentences, and so direct, no confusion. I was thinking actually why devotees find it difficult to get fixed on a philosophy, because they tend to hear from too many different types of speakers, and the sharpness is not maintained. So simply, if we continuously keep reading, hearing Prabhupada, then that, because of the sharpness in Prabhupada's presentation, whether it's a class, whether it's a book, whatever it will go directly into our heads, right? Without no confusion. There is absolutely no confusion. There will be only thing that will be in our mind is, oh, I am not at this stage. But we'll pray, we'll beg for mercy, and then Krishna will pull us up. But there's no confusion. There's no confusion. Oh, should I do this? Can I eat non-prasadam? Can I party? And no, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. These things are not discussed at all in Prabhupada's books, right? Prabhupada just dismisses it all. Useless material engagements are not for devotees. Devotees means transcendental. Mixed devotees are not discussed, right? Generally, mixed Mishra Bhaktas are not discussed in the pages of Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Only Shuddha Bhaktas are discussed. So devotee means pure devotee. There is nothing like a mixed devotee who is being talked about. So we should come to that platform. And that is the goal of this whole bhakti. I mean, what are we doing bhakti for otherwise? What is the goal? If it is for, broken pieces of glass, like Dhruva Maharaj said, oh yeah, I want some material happiness, Krishna, please give. Oh, what a waste. What a waste. We've gone to the supreme authority, the supreme sanctioner, who can give us anything. And we are asking him for some broken pieces of glass. That he will anyway give. If it is required for us, he will anyway give that broken piece of glass. We don't have to worry about it. So yeah, only way I realize, only way is to repeatedly read Prabhupada's books and let these, very heavy words of his sink into our conscience, into our, way of thinking, way of life. Then we can become a pure devotee in one life. That also many devotees say that it might take lifetimes. Why? Prabhupada is guaranteed. You follow whatever I'm said, read my books, you will become pure devotee in one life. Why are we dismissing it off? Why are we saying, no, it might take us lifetimes? It no need to take lifetimes. Of course, if you want to take lifetimes, Krishna will approve that also. But Krishna will be like, Arey Baba, kyun? I've sent you such a powerful Acharya. He's given you everything that is required. You can achieve perfection in one life, but you want to again come back in this material world and suffer? No, we don't have to. We have to just make up our mind, saying enough is enough. I've been struggling in this material world, life after life. Do I want to come back again? No, insane. So beautiful purports. Okay, I'll stop here. Anybody has anything to say, please feel free.
Pranam Prabhuji, like you
Pranam.
said, that we can go back in one lifetime. Prabhuji,
Sorry?
it's not all right to pray for that. as you said right now, that it is like possible to go back to Godhead in one lifetime. So, but it is not like proper to pray like that now, because first we have to deserve, then we have to desire,
No,
no?
no, 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 not on the spiritual platform. On the spiritual platform, laulyam ekam maulyam. On the spiritual platform, you have to be greedy. You don't deserve. We don't deserve anything, Mataji. We don't deserve even holding Japamala today in our hands. We don't deserve, you know, we got initiated. We don't deserve it. We are wearing tilak. We don't deserve it. We don't deserve anything. We are nonsense. We came down from this material world, like just pushing Krishna away. What deserve? What do we deserve? We have to know that we are so unqualified that the only thing I have to do is just greed. I don't have any qualification, Krishna, but make me pure, perfect. I don't want anything else holding me back. If we wait for qualification, it's going to take us lifetimes, right? And that qualification, Krishna is ready. Acharyas have, Prabhupada is guaranteed. Why we have to worry now? I mean, somebody is saying that don't worry about your qualification, right? Just sincerely try, be greedy. It's not that we are just being greedy and then we are not doing anything about it, right? Oh, I'll pray Krishna, I want Shuddha Prema, Krishna Prema, this, that, and all that, and then I'm engaging in some nonsense material activity. That is hypocrisy. No, hypocrisy is not entertained, not hypocrisy. But if we are sincere and we are praying for 10 something, much above us, much above our current situation, it's absolutely perfect. And this is what is actually advised. Rupa Goswami says, Laulyam ekam maulyam. It is greed only which is of value, which is of importance, which is required for devotees. So, yeah, absolutely, we should pray. We should pray for things that are much, much, much beyond us, and sincerely follow the instructions that acharyas have given, gurus have given. We should follow it.
Yes, like we can pray to purify us, and we
You
can
can pray
like
whatever you
say,
want,
I don't
Mataji.
want to
It's
come back to this.
yeah, you can pray what
Mm.
you can pray. You can pray whatever you want. There is nothing. I mean, it's all our personal position in bhakti, what we want to pray, so that we don't have to discuss openly. But we can pray for anything. Don't have to worry
Yes.
about whether we are qualified or not. But we should not do things which we are not, which for which we don't have adhikar. Like for example, I keep saying, right,
Yeah.
like deity worship without being Brahmin initiated. We should not do these things without adhikar. But we should absolutely desire. If I want to become second initiated and I want to do worship deities, I can absolutely desire. Right? I can absolutely desire anything spiritually. Anything I can desire spiritually, as long as it's taking me higher and higher from where I stand today. Absolutely perfect to desire and pray for mercy.
Yes, and that line came, Krishna wants us to have full experience of
Oh yeah.
like the
Mhm.
material things. Like for that, Lord interferes and gives us struggles and reversals in life so that we realize that. Is that correct understanding?
Yeah, I mean, we might not be so exalted that he might have to interfere. We have enough karma phala that can help us. Mhm. So we have enough karma phala. That karma phala might get slightly uh, tweaked, maybe if required. But generally, we should understand our normal karma phala is good enough to get us out of our suffering, out of our attachments, provided we are a little bit, introspective. If we are introspective, then we will see whenever a devotee has faces a problem. First question that has to come to his mind is, why is this suffering coming to me? And then the devotee will come to an understanding. Oh, see, I have this attachment. See, I might have done some nonsense like this. And that propensities would continue in the devotee, would still be there in the devotee today. For example, if suppose we are having a bad relation with some person, which basically means that we have given a hard time to somebody in the past life. That propensity maybe is still there with me, right? And so Krishna is saying, now experience this and give up this animosity, give up this envy, give up these, bad, the way your so-called harshness, etc., etc. And it is very easy. Devotees, if we just introspect, we can understand what is it that I have to get out of, right? So it's not very difficult. Okay. Anything else? Okay, we'll close here. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananda koti vaishnavebhyo ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.